discussion. The first topic that we'll take up today is related to the effect on national internal security as well as the federal steps of expanding the jurisdiction of the Border Security Force, the BSF. The Supreme Court has clarified that Centre's notification of 2021, which increased the Border Security Force jurisdiction in Punjab from 15 to 50 km, does not lessen the state police investigative authority. Rather, it merely gives the BSF the ability to act concurrently in preventing specific offences within these limits. So, Border Security Force manages the Indian border in the border states. Fine, and so that border is definitely located in a particular state. In that state, there is a state police, but Rabindra, कौन बोल चुका? Okay, state has its own police for investigation and maintaining law and order, and the border security force jurisdiction. Normally, it was from the border. See, if this is the situation, if this is the border of a state, this is a foreign country, this is the border of the state. So up to 15 kilometer was the jurisdiction of the BSF. They can do inquiry, etc. up to this. But right now in Punjab, it has expanded to up to 50 from 15 to So 50 kilometers. So when it has been expanded to 50 kilometers, so there is an allegation that this may transgress the power of the state police. Okay, that's why Supreme Court, the case was in Supreme Court by the state of Punjab, and it has specified that it merely gives BSF the ability to act concurrently in preventing specific offences within these limits. Border security force was not there for maintaining law and order. Border security force will check some other activity, and right now they will be coming up to 50 kilometers to check these activities. This is the point for discussion right now. The Punjabi government filed a case in Supreme Court in 2021 against the centre's ruling to increase the BSF authority. The Punjab government felt this increase from this side from 15 to 50 kilometer is an infringement on the power of the Punjab police, which has been rejected by the Supreme Court in the present ruling. The BSF can only undertake preliminary questioning when the suspect has been apprehended or a consignment seized within the designated area, and they have to turn the suspect over to the local police within a day. So here is the power of the BSF. If any consignment like drugs, weapons, etc. are seized within the designated area, and they have to turn the suspect over to the local police within a day. The BSF is devoid of the powers to prosecute crime suspect because BSF has no power to prosecute any suspect in this particular matter. So special power of BSF. What is the power of BSF? The BSF Act 1968 gives the BSF the authority to expand its jurisdiction as per offences are taken into consideration in all border states. Gujarat has 80 kilometers since 1969. It has lower in some states. From 15 to in Gujarat it is 80 kilometers. It is 50 kilometers in uniform now. So all over the country it will be 50 kilometers. Earlier it was 15 somewhere, 80 in Gujarat. So but right now the government has amended the BSF Act to make it 50 kilometers uniformly in all the states. So uniform now, and it would simply mean that BSF will also have jurisdiction for certain offences under the Criminal Procedure Code 1973, the Passport Entry into India Act 1920 and the Passport Act 1967 among other laws. Okay. Under the BSF Act 1968, notification suspect as superseded an earlier order from 2014 that also applied to the states of Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, Nagaland and Meghalaya. Along with West Bengal, Punjab, Assam and two recently established Indian territory of Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh were also listed explicitly. The BSF had the authority to conduct search and seizure in response to a number of offences, including the smuggling of drugs and other forbidden goods, illegal foreign entry, and offences covered by any other central act. The BSF can only undertake preliminary questioning when a suspect has been apprehended or a consignment seized within the designated area, and they have to turn the suspect over to the local police within a day. The BSF is devoid of the power to prosecute crime suspects. BSF has no power to prosecute. Special power of the BSF. Okay. The BSF Act of 1968 gives the BSF the authority. Okay. The BSF authority to expand its jurisdiction as far as offences are taken into consideration in all border states. Gujarat has had 80 kilometers since 1969. It was lower in some states. It is 50 kilometers in from now, and it would simply mean that BSF will also have jurisdiction over certain offences under the Act, like the Criminal Procedure Code, the Passport Entry into India Code, and the Passport Act 1967. The local police will still be in charge. Additionally, BSF is granted concurrently with jurisdiction. What kind of problem does the extension of jurisdiction presents? Bigger concern. So, state security versus public order. Okay, the state government is largely responsible for maintaining public order and police, which are synonymous with public peace, safety, and calm. Entry 1 and Entry 2 of the state list, respectively. However, the union government also becomes concerned when there is significant public disturbances that jeopardizes defense or security of the nation as a whole. Entry 1 of the union list. Weakening spirit of federalism. The notification is an infringement on the state authority if it is sent out without state government's approval. According to the Punjab government, this notification is an institution by the centre acting as security, affecting BSF's ability to function. Border patrol policing does not fit the description of a border guard force. Rather, it could make the BSF less capable of carrying out its main responsibility of securing the international border. Problem particular to Punjab, they have the simultaneous authority to execute all power over the cognizable offences under the Indian Penal Code IPC at a distance of 50 kilometers alongside the state police. In a relatively small state like Punjab, all major cities fall within that when the number is increased. 15 to 50 kilometers. When it comes to the other states, Gujarat and Rajasthan, a significant percentage of Gujarat is covered in marsh area. It is appropriate to extend it there as it does not include any significant urban center. Similarly, to this is Rajasthan. Okay, in a relatively small state like Punjab, all the major cities fall within that when the number is increased from 15 to 50 because of the international border, if it is increased to 50 kilometer, so most of the major towns of the state are included in that. Okay, so this is what is the issue. So most of the major cities, okay, of the states okay, so this is again a very big question because so indirectly it will affect the that internal security of the concerned state as it will be a challenge there. Fine. So it comes to other state, Gujarat and Rajasthan, a significant portion of the Gujarat is covered in the marsh area. It is appropriate to extend it there as it does not include any significant urban centers similar to this. Rajasthan has deserts area, Gujarat has marsh area. But in Punjab, the major towns are coming under jurisdiction if it is expanded to 50 kilometers. Okay. Constitutional perspective on armed forces, deployment and states. Okay. Even in case where the state does not request the central assistance and is unwilling to accept central forces, the center may use its forces under Article 355 to defend a state against external aggression and internal disturbances. State will defend. The appropriate course of action for the center to take in the event that a state objects to the deployment of Indian Armed Forces is to first issue direction to that state under Article 355. The center may take additional measures in accordance with. Okay, so the center may take additional measures in accordance with Article 356 President's Rule if the state disregards an order from the central government. What is BSF? The India-Pakistan War ended in 1965 and the BSF was established. Under the administrative direction of the Ministry of Home Affairs, it is one of the 7 central armed police forces of the Union of India. Assam Rifles, Indo-Tibetan. Okay, Assam Rifle, Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force, Central भाई टिके हॉस्पिटल में फ्री फोन करबी टिके भाई हॉस्पिटल में फोन करबी हॉस्पिटल अच्छे टिके फ्री की कॉल कर मु घंटा पर कॉल कर. Okay, so the security force, national security guards. Okay, so like the Assam Rifle, ITBP, CRPF, CISF, National Security Guard, NSG, the Sashastra Seema Bal, SSB are the other central armed police forces apart from the border security forces. The 2.65 lakh force is stationed near the borders of Bangladesh and Pakistan. Okay, so it was posted in the Bangladesh and Pakistan, so Bangladesh-Pakistan border. Fine. With its cutting-edge fleet of watercraft, the BSF has been protecting the Sar Creek in Gujarat, the Arabian Sea, and the Sundarban Delta in the Bay of Bengal. Okay, from one side from Bangladesh, other side from Pakistan. Okay, it sends a sizable proportion of its skilled labor force annually to UN peacekeeping mission, providing committed services. So the current arrangement between the Indian Armed Forces and the State Civil Authority does not need to be altered, especially considering the security situation in the Indian neighborhood, because China is a big threat that remains. Okay, whenever possible, nevertheless, the state government should be consulted before the Indian government send out its military troops. Okay, and the second is state becoming self-reliant. Each state government may devise both short and long-term plans for bolstering its armed police while consulting with the union government. state government may devise both short and long-term plans for bolstering the armed police while consulting with the Union government. The goal is to become mostly self-sufficient in terms of armed police, so that the Indian military forces will only be called upon in extreme circumstances involving riots. But normally, these central forces are deployed in the states on the state request, even in normal law and order duty. Okay, like the election in Odisha, like the Rath Yatra and anti-national operations. Okay, by agreement, a connection of neighboring states may maintain a formal agreement for a mutual use of their armed police forces in time of emergency. The best forum for reaching an agreement among the states within a zone to create such a plan would be the zonal council. North zone, south zone, central zone, east zone, northeastern council. The role of governor under the constitution, the next topic. The credibility of elected politicians and the legislative process are jeopardized when a governor refuses to approve a bill passed by the state legislature. आज Okay. State of Punjab versus Principal Secretary to the Governor of Punjab, and another in 27-page ruling that held that the governor who is nominated by the president cannot act as a symbolic head forever and cannot hold up legislative action passed by the assembly. The Supreme Court ruling has made it clear that a governor who decides not to sign a law is required to return it to the legislature with a statement explaining their reasons. In light of the current disagreement in various states between elected government and governors, this decision assumes even greater significance. Punjab, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala will have all petitioned the Supreme Court for instructions pertaining to their respective governors. Clarification of the Constitution, Article 200. The four measures that the Punjab Legislative Assembly enacted in June 2023 and that the Governor of Punjab had detained was the primary point of disagreement in this case. The decision provides a clear interpretation of Article 200 of the Constitution, which addresses state assent to bill. A bill is forwarded to the governor by the Article 200 once it has been passed by the Legislative Assembly or both houses in a bicameral legislature. In case some states have bicameral legislature, so once the bill is passed, it can be sent to the governor for each assent. The governor is presented with a three options when it comes to choosing a law. The governor has three options to sign the bill into a law, to withhold his or her assent, or to reject the bill for the president's review. Three things, three options are left with the governor when a bill is presented to him after being passed by the state legislature. So one is he can give his assent to make it a law, he can withhold his assent and send the bill back to the legislature, or he may reject the bill for the president's review under some circumstances. The decision clearly states that the governor cannot effectively veto the operation of an elected legislature because he is an unelected, unconstitutional authority. Okay. So the decision clearly states that the governor cannot effectively veto the operation of the elected legislature because he is an unelected constitutional authority. The governor's constitutional authority to ratify legislation passed by the legislature must be exercised in a way that does not interfere with the normal course of law making, indefinitely withholding consent in the opinion of the Supreme Court, would violate the fundamental principle of constitutional democracy based on a parliamentary pattern of governance. This is the limitation on the power of the governor. ଦୁଇଟା ପରେ hello ଦୁଇଟା 15 ମିନିଟ୍ SR Bombay President of India has also used in the ruling of highlights the fact that the federalist principles that are fundamental component of constitution cannot be disregarded by the governor in the exercise of their constitutional authority. Throughout India's legal and political history, there have been numerous instances where the governor's office has been abused by the central government to strengthen the Indian government's hold over the state government, headed by the opposition parties. This rivalry between various Okay, this rivalry between the various political parties is also evident in the numerous conflicts that exist between governors and particular state administration in modern day India. Not only a court case, as a result, it goes beyond only being a legal conflict between the governor and the Union government and some state governments. Additionally, it is a political disagreement between several opposition and ruling parties. In essence, the Supreme Court's decision in this case has highlighted the threat that these kinds of political disagreement represents to India's constitutional goal of federalism. The bulk of federal conflict that have been witnessed recently are not sign of institutional mismanagement, misalignment, but rather of party domination, one party in the center, one party in the states. There is no cooperation leading to conflict of interest. The bulk of federal conflict that have witnessed recently are not sign of institutional misalignment, but rather of party domination, despite the fact that the constitutional idea of a federal polity with a power balance favoring the nation was an institutional arrangement. Conclusion: according to the Supreme Court ruling, the turning fork of democracy and federalism affect the governor's position. The court aimed to uphold the dignity and force necessary for governors to carry out their constitutionally mandated duties through this ruling. More significantly, it issues a strong caution against partisan abuse of governorship in modern day India. Then the Kara Isthmus, because of a planned transit route that would link the Andaman Sea and the Gulf of Thailand, the Kara Isthmus, which is part of the Thailand's Malay Peninsula, has grown in significance strategically. So this is the Kara Isthmus. Thailand and Malaysia will be connected. The Gulf of Thailand and the Andaman Sea. This is the isthmus. This isthmus, which is only 45 km wide, its narrowest point might have an impact on global trade and security that is comparable to the historical importance of the Panama and the Suez Canal. The Prime Minister of Thailand recently formally unveiled a multi-billion-dollar land bridge project here. The isthmus is a small stretch of land with two water bodies that join two bigger land masses. That is called the isthmus. Okay, it is a small stretch of land with two water bodies that joins two bigger land masses. So it joins Thailand with Malaysia. The Kara Isthmus in Thailand is the narrowest part of the Malaya Peninsula. The isthmus is broadened to the west by the Andaman Sea and to the east by the Gulf of Thailand. Then the Funda Altera at the COP28 climate conference held in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, the host president Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan declared the establishment of a $30 billion Altera Climate Fund. Altera Climate Fund, remember this. By the end of the decade, the fund hopes to raise 250 billion in capital, in which 25 billion would be towards climate policy and 5 billion will be used to encourage investment in the global south. The fund aims to influence private markets to make climate related investments, particularly in underdeveloped and rising nations. Generally speaking, the word altera refers to a Latin word that is frequently used to denote modification, change or variance in the variety of context. The following four major pillars will direct the fund's investment. First, the energy transition, then decarbonization of industry, ecological way of living, technology affecting climate, best of class. So these will be taken care of by the fund. Then the genomic sequencing at a population level, a major achievement in population scale genomics was recently reached when the UK finished sequencing 500,000 entire genome. This method had profound effect on many scientific domains and provides hitherto unheard of sights insight into human diversity. Globally, there are several large-scale genomic projects in progress, such as the All of Us program in United States, the A1 Million Genome Initiative in the European Union, and the 3 million African Genome projects, that is FLAND. Advantages: population scale genomic projects assist a variety of goals, including public health campaigns, pharmaceutical target identification, and the study of disease prevalence and biomarkers. Initiatives like the Genome Asia project in Asia and the Genome India in India seek to sequence populations at the population level, advancing our knowledge of human evolution, migratory trends, and environmental adaptation. Concerning population level sequencing, commonly referred to as population scale, it is the procedure of sequencing several individuals' DNA or mRNA from one or more species to identify genome. With this method makes use of a lot of sequencing information and probabilistic matching methods. Okay, then the next is the Mahasagar initiative. Okay, Maritime Chief Mahasagar initiative. The maritime chief from several countries in the Indian Ocean region convened for the inaugural meeting of the Mahasagar project of the Indian Navy, collective maritime approach towards countering common challenges in the region called the Mahasagar. Maritime heads of the active security and growth for all for the Mahasagar. Okay, maritime heads for active security and growth for all in the region is short name as Mahasagar, stands for, it seeks to establish a forum for high level conversation that promote collaboration among the Indian Ocean rim countries. So the nations from the Indian Ocean side. Heads of the maritime departments and agency in Tanzania, Comoros, Kenya, Madagascar, Maldives, Mauritius, Mozambique, Seychelles, Sri Lanka, all will be. The Sagar vision, security and growth for all in the region, and the Indian government is in line with the Mahasagar, involving them for a security dialogue. To strengthen ties with its maritime neighborhood, India releases Security and Growth for All, the Sagar Initiative, its strategic vision for the Indian Ocean in 2015 on the economic and security front. Then the Marpui volcano. Lately, there were fatalities and ash eruptions up to 3,000 meters in air from the Marpui volcano in southwest Sumatra, West Sumatra, Indonesia. The most active volcano on the island of the Sumatra is called the Marapi, or the Mountain of Fire. Its most catastrophic eruption occurred on April 1979, killing 60 people. Indonesia is home to 127 active volcanoes and is located on the Ring of Fire in the Pacific. Even though Mount Merapi is among the world's most dangerous volcano, it is well like tourist attraction. Indonesia, Mount Merapi and other volcanoes including Mount Semeru and Mount Bromo are still well liked travel destinations for adventure seekers. Then coming to the question, the public primary and secondary education system in India is confronted with a number of obstacles. What steps may be taken to improve the infrastructure, cost, and quality of government schools relative to private ones? Okay, parents prefer to enroll their children in private schools, even if it means paying much more for tuition and other fees, as evidenced by a recent survey conducted by the Right to Education Resource Center at IIM Ahmedabad. Parents blame government school for the low quality of education received by their children. The Indian public elementary and secondary education system has a number of challenges, including poor learning outcomes. Children in Standard 5 have maintained their proficiency in reading basic English sentences at the 2016 level, as reported by the Annual Status of Education Report 2022, from 24.7% in 2016 to 20.5% in 2022. So there is a decline. Deficiency in infrastructure. As per the ASR report 2022, in 2022, 68.9% of the schools have playground. The percentage of schools having improved usable restroom for girls is only 68.4%, and only 76% of schools have access to potable water. Teacher shortage and quality. Approximately 1.1 lakh schools in India are single teacher institutions according to UNESCO 2021 State of Education Report for India. No teacher, no class. So poor attendance in 2022. The average teacher attendance rate is expected to be 87.1%, whereas average student attendance rate has been essentially constant at 72% for the previous few years. That means 72% students even present, but teachers present is falling. Gender gap. In some area, gender gap still exists despite advancement. The percentage of girls between the age of 15 and 16 who are not enrolled has decreased, with a current standing of 7.9% in 2022, according to the ASER report 2022. High dropout rates. According to the UDISC plus 2021-22 data, the overall dropout rate in Indian schools is 1.5% for primary level classes, 1 to 3% for upper primary class 6 to 8, and 12% for secondary level 9 to 10. This percentage is still very high in the upper level. So they are joining, but they are unable to complete their schooling up to the 10th standard. This is a grave situation. Okay, high minimal emphasis on pre-primary education. 78.3% of the 3-year-old are enrolled in early childhood education in 2022. Outdated curriculum. Although the national curriculum framework is updated on a regular basis, questions have been raised concerning the curriculum's applicability and efficacy. Gap in vocational education. According to the All India Survey of Higher Education 21-22, fewer students are enrolled in programs for vocational education than in traditional courses. Digital divide. With many students unable to access online education, the COVID-19 outbreak brought attention to the digital divide. State by state inequality. According to NITI-Aayog, that State of Education Quality Index 2023, states with higher scores like Kerala and Tamil Nadu and lower scores like Bihar and Jharkhand indicate differences in the quality of education. Growth in private tuition from 26.4% in 2018 to 30.5% in 2022. More children in standard 1 to 8 are enrolling in paid private tuition programs. Okay, that's why the number is increasing, because they are not happy with what is being taught in the school. The parents are right now choosing to enroll their ward in the private tuition because they are not assured of that how much of okay. So digital divide. With many students unable to access online education, the COVID-19 outbreak brought attention to digital divide. 215 और 10 मिनट लगे. State by state inequality according to NITI Aayog's State of Education Quality Index 2023, state with higher scores like Kerala and Tamil Nadu and lower scores like Bihar and Jharkhand indicate differences in the quality of education. Growth in private tuition from 26.4% in 2018 to 30.5% in 2022. More children in standard 1 to 8 are enrolling in private tuitions. Initiative can be taken to make government school more appealing than private schools, improve the infrastructure, modernizing school building, make sure there are enough classrooms, library, labs and leisure space. Boost sanitation and hygiene by having access to potable water, working restroom and frequent effort to raise awareness of good hygiene. Technology integration to support digital learning, make computers, tablets and internet connectivity available. Encourage teachers to attract and retain qualified teachers, implement a merit-based hiring policy, pay competitively and provide chances for professional growth. Ongoing teacher training to improve subject knowledge and pedagogical ability, hold frequent workshops, seminars and training sessions. Performance-based incentives to encourage educators and acknowledge their work, put in place a system of rewards based on performance. Update the curriculum, holistic education, integrate a holistic approach to education that emphasizes the physical, mental, social and emotional growth of students. Skill-based learning to equip students for future career prospect, incorporate entrepreneurship training and vocational skill. Learning through activities, promote project-based learning, field excursions and practical training. Establish good school climate, inclusive and supportive environment, encourage an environment that is friendly, inclusive and supportive of diversity in order to sustain a social peace. Parent-teacher collaboration, encourage frequent communication between parents and teachers so that issues can be discussed and students' progress can be addressed. Community engagement to promote a feeling of ownership, including the local community in school events and decision-making procedures. This will definitely improve the situation. In conclusion, by putting these ideas into practice, we can build an inclusive and equitable educational system that enables every child to realize their full potential and realize the goal of national education policy, which is to produce a generation of young people who are morally grounded, capable and prepared to face the challenges of the 21st century. Then come to the question, which of the following statements regarding the denotified tribe are correct? Denotified tribes are communities that have notified as being born criminal during the British regime under the series of laws starting from the starting with the Criminal Tribe Act 1871. The government therefore set up the DWBTNC, Development of Welfare Board for the Denotified Nomadic and Semi-Nomadic Community, and the Society Act in 1860, and the gist of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. Here both 1 and 2 are correct. Arrange the following India-Nepal boundary locations. So first will come the Lumpia-Dura, then will come the Kalapani, then is Lipulek from west to east. So 3 to 1. 3 to 1 is C. Then consider the following statement regarding the Global Initiative for Academic Network Higher Education. Okay, GIAN GAN program. IIT Kharagpur serves as the nodal agency for the implementing the GAN. Okay, so right. And the primary aim of GAN is to tap into the global talent pool of scientists and entrepreneurs, encouraging their active involvement with higher education institutions in India. Here both 1 and 2 are correct. Which of the following is most likely consequences of implementing the unified payment interface? It is the mobile wallet will not be necessary for online payment. Okay, is most likely consequences. Which of the following is largest producer of sugar? It's Cuba. Regarding carbon credit, which of the following sentence is correct? Carbon credit is the carbon credit system is to limit the increase of carbon dioxide emission. So C is the right answer. Recently, which of the following currency has been proposed to be added to the basket of IMF SDR? It is the renminbi, the rupee of that the currency of China. Which of the following statement regarding system of pension admission? Rakhya, Sparsh initiative correct. Sparsh is initiative of the Ministry of Defence with aim to provide a comprehensive solution to the administration of pension to the defence pensioners. So right. It is the line with the government's vision of digital India, direct benefit transfer, minimum government, maximum governance, right? Okay, so here both 1 and 2 are correct. This is the following statement regarding the LHS 3154 star. This is an ultra cool dwarf star that is about 50 light years away from the Earth. It is about 1,000 times less luminous than our Sun and 9 times less massive. The planet HNS 3154b is 13 times more massive than Earth and about the same of Neptune. And all the three are correct. Consider the following statement regarding the chalothilas. It is a disorder related by gallbladder stones. That is right. It is the most usually caused by chemical imbalance inside the gallbladder content. Fine. So here both 1 and 2 are correct. So thank you for watching. Keep watching regularly to update yourself.